He wasn't a hero. He wasn't a monster either. Just a man, forgotten by the world, labeled guilty, locked in a cage. His final request wasn't to see his mother, not his lawyer, not even God. He asked for his dog. And what happened next changed everything. Because sometime justice barks before it speaks. His name was Caleb Warren, age 41. Occupation, former auto mechanic. Current location, death row, Florence Correctional Facility, Block D. Convicted of the murder of his wife, Evelyn Warren, in what the media dubbed the porcelain crime. The name came from the broken porcelain vase used as the supposed murder weapon, but no one really cared about the name. After the trial, Caleb became just another file in a drawer, another mugshot, another statistic. It was a rainy Thursday night. Caleb had come home late from his shift. The lights were off, which was strange. Rusty, their 2-year-old retriever, was barking nonstop at the window. When Caleb walked in, the house smelled of iron. There, in the living room, was Evelyn. Blood pooled beneath her head, a shattered porcelain vase nearby. A single red rose clutched in her hand. The neighbors said they heard shouting earlier that day. One even claimed they saw Caleb storm out that morning. Police found no signs of forced entry, just a stunned man, a lifeless woman, and a barking dog. The case was open and shut. Caleb insisted he didn't do it. He said Evelyn was alive when he left. He claimed they had a fight, yes, but not violence. And Rusty? He barked every time the mailman came. But public sympathy had vanished. The prosecution painted him as a failed husband, a jealous man, an animal pretending to mourn. The jury deliberated for 4 hours. Guilty, sentenced to death by lethal injection, 10 years, 3,650 nights. 4 wardens came and went. 1 died in his sleep. But Caleb stayed, silent, still, never wrote letters, never got visits. He didn't even appeal anymore. The only thing he ever asked for was Rusty. Every year, he'd send a letter asking if his dog was okay. He never got a reply. Until one winter morning. Warden Elsie Taylor was the type who didn't entertain sentiment. So when the request came, she nearly threw it out. Before I die, I'd like to see my dog one last time. Rusty, golden retriever. He's old now, probably deaf. But if he's still out there, please, one last moment. She scoffed. We're not a petting zoo, she muttered. But something made her pause. She'd read hundreds of last requests. Some asked for lobster. Some asked for strippers. Some cried. Some laughed. But this was just quiet. Rusty never left. After Caleb's arrest, the neighbors tried to take him in. He refused to stay. Every morning he sat at the edge of the porch. Every night he curled by the front door. He'd grown old, his fur grayed, one eye cloudy, but he still waited. When Officer Dana Mitchell approached, Rusty didn't growl. He looked up, sniffed the air, and let her clip the leash. She whispered, "Let's go see him, boy." Back at the prison, the debate was raging. Bringing a dog into a maximum security facility was a liability, but Taylor stared at the approval form for hours. And then she signed. Under escort, in the visitation room, no media, 1 hour. Caleb had 48 hours left. He hadn't reacted to the date, but when they told him Rusty was coming, he cried, just once, just a single tear. Officer Dana walked by his cell and heard him whisper. He waited. I knew he would. Rusty walked in slowly, guided by Dana. But as soon as he saw Caleb, he froze. The room held its breath. Then Rusty sprinted, fast for a dog his age. He leapt into Caleb's lap, paws scratching the chains, whining, licking, crying. Caleb dropped his head. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, boy. He wept. So did Dana and Taylor. Even the stone-faced guards turned away. Then something happened. Rusty suddenly barked, loud, deep, angry. He wasn't looking at Caleb. He was barking at Officer Reeds, the now retired detective who happened to be visiting Taylor that day. The barking was relentless. Rusty growled, his hair standing up, teeth bared. "What's wrong, Rusty?" Dana asked, confused. Caleb looked up, stunned. He remembers that bark. He only barked like that once before. Taylor's face turned pale. When? The night Evelyn died. Dana couldn't sleep. Rusty's reaction wasn't just coincidence. She reopened the case file. She traced the original 911 calls. One call from a blocked number came 5 minutes before the official call time. It pinged near Caleb's house. The number? Linked to an old burner phone, used in a previous drug case. Handled by Officer Reeds. Rusty had been trained by Caleb to fetch tools, track scents. He was no ordinary dog. Donna got a court order to run DNA tests on old blood samples from the crime scene. They found unidentified male DNA under Evelyn's fingernails. It wasn't Caleb's. Within 48 hours, Reeds was brought in for questioning. He refused to speak, but then Rusty was brought in again. One look, and Reeds broke. He screamed, "That damn dog never forgot!" Reeds had been blackmailing Evelyn. She knew something about a crooked drug bust he'd faked years ago. She had threatened to expose him, so he silenced her. And he framed the one person who couldn't defend himself, her husband, Caleb. Taylor answered. Her face broke into disbelief. Then she turned to Caleb's cell. "You're not dying today." It took 9 more months to overturn everything. Caleb walked out to a line of reporters, lawyers, and one familiar face. Rusty. The dog ran one last time. This time, to freedom. But the joy didn't last long. 3 weeks later, Rusty passed away in his sleep. No pain, no noise, just peace. Caleb now works at a rescue shelter. He trains dogs like Rusty, loyal, patient, and brave. He keeps Rusty's collar on his bedside, and every night he whispers, "You were the only one who never gave up on me." A man condemned to die, a dog who waited. One bark uncovered a decade-old crime, because love never forgets. And sometimes justice has 4 legs and a wagging tail.